All right, here we go. It is a brand new Flyers Daily for the 10th of September, 2025, just a couple of days away from Flyers Rangers rookie game number 1 on Friday and rookie game number 2 on Saturday. And I guess today technically is the day that rookie camp begins. First on ice session, I believe, is tomorrow. Flyers Daily, as usual, presented by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. Before we get into the particulars of this episode, somebody had commented that they love the magazine picture here of Ozzy that I have in the background since his passing. And this Ozzy magazine is actually signed by Ozzy and signed by Zach Wilde. So I was able to dig that up and find it after Ozzy's passing amongst my archives of stuff and all kinds of stuff that I have from my years in rock radio. Anyway, all right, couple of things. Number one, coming up today, 10 o'clock this morning, President of Hockey Operations and the chairman are going to meet with the media. Dan Hilferty and Keith Jones will have a meeting, a joint media availability at the Flyers Training Center at 10 o'clock. Or excuse me, the press conference will take place at 11 on Wednesday. That's today. Doors open at 10:30, blah, blah, blah. There is some ongoing construction, but there will be a press conference and a media availability with Keith Jones and Dan Hilferty. Looking forward to that. We'll recap that coming up on Friday's episode. We'll probably go to daily episodes, Monday through Friday, the day before the regular season on October 8th. I had gotten some inquiries about that. That's about when we go to full-time. But training camp, we're going to have a ton of content. We may have some bonus content that we release at times as well on a day when maybe we normally wouldn't have an episode in this preseason. So stay tuned for that. Just keep an eye on it. Make sure you subscribe on your podcast feeds or you ring the bell, subscribe to the Flyers YouTube channel because it'll all be posted on both of those locations. Now, rookie game on Friday, rookie game on Saturday. I've got something for you guys. And this is cool. I don't know that we've ever done this. Maybe we give away tickets one time to a Flyer game in about the 16 or 1700 episodes that we've done of this podcast. But I got an email from Bob Roadtruck, of course, is the announcer and handles a lot of promotional stuff for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, offering me 2 pairs of tickets for the Friday night game between the Flyers and Rangers rookies and the Saturday game for the Flyers and Rangers rookies. So if you would like to go, I will email you a comp pair of tickets and I'll pick at random 2 people for the game on Friday and 2 people for the game on Saturday. Just in your email or DM to me, just put which day you prefer or which day you're available to go. And then I will include your email as well if you DM me. And if you are selected, I will email you the tickets. So real simple. Again, my email is Jason, Jason, .Myrtetus, MYRTETUS @gmail.com. And you can always shoot me a DM on X as well at Jason Myrt, JASON MYRT. Should be a great time. Tickets are, if you don't win the tickets, head to the game. So it should be a lot of fun. Hockey will be back on the ice. Flyers, Rangers, rookies. There's always some fireworks that happen in these 2 games as well. Guys trying to make a good first impression. So it'll be very fun to check out. So again, if you want to go to a game, just let me know the date of the game, either Saturday or Sunday or Friday or Saturday. And we'll pick a couple people at random. So good luck to you if you'd like to do that. Now, I've always been a guy that is wrapped up in the what-ifs of life. What if fill in the blank? What if I never would have left Malvern Prep after my 9th grade year and ended up graduating from there? What if the guy didn't come into the drive-through beer distributor I worked at Penn State with a radio station hat on, and he and I get to talking and I end up with an internship in radio, and 30 plus years later, I'm still doing radio. What if you married X girl or such and such girl? Or what if you chose a different college over the one you chose? There's all these what ifs in life. And sometimes, when we're alone at night or bored, you go through these what ifs. And there's so many of them. And what ifs go into sports? What if the Flyers never traded Sergei Bobrovsky? What if the Flyers never traded that huge package to get Eric Lindros and would have kept Peter Forsberg and everything? What if the arbitrator ruled a different way? What if the Travis Sanheim to St. Louis deal would have happened and Torrey Krug became a member of the Philadelphia Flyers more recently? There's so many what ifs. What if Nolan Patrick didn't have the concussion or head issues and turned out to be a legitimate second overall pick? So you can go down a rabbit hole of what ifs until the cows come home. And I found this quote. It says, the what ifs and the should haves will eat your brain. That was from somebody named John O'Callahan. And they eat my brain. I wonder about the what ifs in history and the what ifs that are coming up this season. And this quote comes from ourmindfullife.com. Turn your what ifs into why nots. So in light of that, I decided to write off the top of my head the top 5 what ifs heading into the Flyers 25-26 season. Now, I don't know how these are going to play out, but what if, number 1, the Flyers defensemen defended better and provided a better environment for the goaltending? What if, with Rick Tockett's system in that regard, the box in one limits the opportunity of high danger chances against prior to the last couple of seasons past? We know shot blocking was a big thing under John Tortorella, but what if a lot of the cross ice opportunities, Rick Tocchet likes to split the ice in half and make them play on one side, which I will tell you as a goaltender helps a ton to a goaltender to not have to migrate across ice. Does it mean it's never going to happen? No, it's going to happen. But what if you can limit it? And what if the Flyers defensive core, and I don't mean just the defenseman, the 5-man unit defends better and provides a better environment for those goaltenders? What is the fallout of that for the Flyers? Does it come at a cost of scoring more and getting out on the rush the other way? Does it come at a cost of being a team that just gives up less goals? Or does it lead us right to number 2? If the team defense defends better and provides a better environment for the goalies and limits the high danger chances, what if, number 2, goaltending became a strength for the Flyers? Now, I'd love nothing more than to will this into existence, because I know at 53 years of age, the question mark through so much of my existence on this planet about goaltending. When I was very young, it was obviously Bernie Parent, Wayne Stevenson. Obviously, Bernie was the cowbell. And then it moved into, Bernie Parent, Pete Peters, into Bob Froese, and then obviously Pelle Lindbergh, the tragedy. What if Pelle didn't die in that tragic car wreck? Ron Hextall comes along. If Pelle Lindbergh doesn't pass away, does Hextall move his way up the depth chart as a fly? We don't know. These are all the what ifs. But what if, because the defenseman and the 5-man unit are defending better, providing a more predictable environment for the goaltenders, limiting the amount of high danger chances, what if the byproduct of that is that goaltending became a strength for the 2025-26 season? If that happens, what does that mean? It obviously means the team's got a much better chance of being a playoff team. It means that Sam Ersson and Dan Vladar, some combination of the split of games, whether that's 41-41, whether that's 50-32 split with Ersson getting 50, I don't know. But what if goaltending as a unit became a strength of the team and not the weakness it has been the last couple of years? What would the I mean, the byproduct of that would be huge. And then you can combine that. And we're going to combine all of these what ifs. Again, these are just the top 5 that I thought of. What if you defended better, you provided a better environment, you gave up less goals, and goaltending became a strength? Compound on that, what if the power play became league average? And I don't want to hear a peep about the high-end talent of a power play. There were plenty of teams over the last couple of years that had less high-end talent than the Flyers that had much better power plays. And the Flyers added to that this offseason. They have a very good face-off man in Couturier and Dvorak. They have the addition of a very skilled player in Trevor Zegras. They have the addition of maybe Cam York being a guy to quarterback it, or an improved Jamie Drysdale, or a confident Owen Tippett or Tyson Foerster, which we'll get to in the next what if. You've got a lot of different elements. So you've got all the pieces there to have an improved power play. Now, they've been the worst power play. And some people go, well, you can only take really small steps and just going from last to maybe 24th. No, I think you have the pieces to go from last to league average to about 15, 16, 17th in the NHL. So if you're a team that's giving up less goals, defending better, giving less high danger chances, goaltending is becoming a strength, and now you've got a power play that is league average in result and in production, not to mention that when you have a power play that's of league average in result and production, it also gives the team confidence, more goals. What does that mean? And to that regard, about the power play and the 5-on-5 play, what if Owen Tippett and Tyson Foerster both become 30-plus goal scorers? Foerster had 25 last year. Tippett has knocked on the door at 30 a couple times. Didn't last year, but needs to be a 30-goal scorer. Combined with Michkov being a 30-goal scorer and his development, combined with the north of 30 you're going to get from Travis Konechny, combined with hopefully a boost in goals from Noah Cates and Bobby Brink, and maybe Alex Bump if he makes the team, combined with maybe more scoring from Sean Couturier, what do all 4 of those what-ifs mean? What do they do for this Flyers team? And the 5th one is, what if Trevor Zegras, who's been injury-riddled the last 2 years, but the 2 years prior to that was a 65-plus point player? What if Trevor Zegras goes back to being a 60-plus point player? Think about what you gave up for him. What if you didn't trade for Trevor Zegras? Is something we might be saying at the end of the season, because he's high-end skill. He's a guy that has produced 2 60-plus point seasons before the age of 23. What if he goes back on that trajectory, knowing that what you gave up is not commensurate to what you got, something you needed, something he needed perhaps, needing that change of scenery, a new opportunity, a new path for a career that once looked very promising and very productive from a statistical standpoint? What if Trevor Zegras comes in here, rediscovers that player with consistency, continues to improve, adds more elements to his 200-foot game, and becomes a reliable player in the middle? And that's not just about the 25-26 season. That's about how the Flyers will build going forward. What if those things happen? That was part of that trade. Part of that trade was we're trading Ryan Poehling. We know what that is. We gave up what we gave up to get Trevor Zegras. But what if that's why the risk reward was worth it? What if he does re-become that player? That guy who's a 60-plus point player, close to 70. And that's all we gave up? Yeah, he's only got 1 year left on a restricted free agent deal. But if he comes here and has success and proves he's that player again, falls in love with the city, fits into the culture. What if? What does that mean for both the Flyers this season and beyond? And combine that with the what if of, this isn't even a what if, this is an assumption that Matvei Michkov's going to build off of last season's totals, last season's clutchness, last season's electrifying play to put this team on his back. What if all those things fall into place? Now, that's a lot of what ifs. But you can also look at them and say, are they completely not feasible? Is it not feasible for the defense and the team defense to defend better when they haven't defended well? No, that's feasible. Is it feasible for goaltending to become a strength if that happens? Absolutely. That's a byproduct of that happening. The power play has been so bad. Is it feasible for them to get to league average with the talent they have? That shouldn't be that difficult. I think they had to work harder to be as bad as they were the last couple of years than they did to get better. That's how horrific it was. Is it feasible that Tyson Foerster, who scored 25 last year, had a great tournament at the World Hockey Championship? That Owen Tippett, who's knocked on the door 30 twice, can pot 30 goals? That should be not a what if, that should be when. And if that what if part of that is, what if that is this year? And then what if Zegras changes scenery, brings him back to the player that he was prior to the 2 injury-riddled years with success and a reroute of his career as a Philadelphia Flyer, and with the next developments of Matvei Michkov's electrifying play. Boy, that I got to tell you, when you compartmentalize it like that, it doesn't seem far-fetched. Now, do you need all of those things, all of those what-ifs to be true? Some of them feed into the others, like defensive environment, strength at goaltending, like being better on the power play, Foerster and Tippett getting to 30, like Zegras regaining the footing in his development arc as an NHL player to where he was a couple of years ago, along with the next steps and very, very likely next steps of Matvei Michkov. Is that impossible? Sometimes when you break down all of those what ifs, you maybe get a clearer picture. I don't know if those what ifs have provided a clearer picture. Individually, yeah, they're all very feasible. Collectively, all of them, maybe it's not feasible. I don't know. But those what ifs, I don't think are out of line. I really don't. I mean, what are the big what ifs for you going into this season? I mean, I think about what ifs when it came to my health. What if I would have gone to the doctor sooner? What if I didn't go to the doctor at all and went later and my cancer had spread? You think about all these what ifs. What ifs are very real. And some people may go, you and your what ifs, it's a waste of time. Well, look, I love this friggin' game. I love thinking about it, talking about it, and I can't wait to be on Friday at the PPL Center in Allentown watching the development of some players. What if some of these players develop? What if Jetlachenko makes the team? What if Oliver Bonk has a really good camp? Is he a consideration to make the team? What if Denver Barkey's a better pro than he was at junior? Not that he's going to be that dominant. And is a guy that maybe he's going to be a middle sixer in your forward group at some point in his career. What if Alex Bump's a better pro than he was a collegiate player? A lot of what ifs. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. And again, if you want to be at that game on Friday or Saturday, shoot me that email, jason.myrtetus@gmail.com, or send me a DM on X at Jason Myrt. Let me know which day you're available to go. We'll pick 2 winners for Friday, 2 winners for Saturday, and we will be there this weekend, not just talking hockey, watching hockey. Oh, by the way, Friday, our guest on the episode will be the guy that's running rookie camp for the Flyers, new Phantoms head coach John Snowden. So we'll get to know John Snowden coming up on Friday's episodes. Join us then on a brand new Flyers Daily.